Okay, so today we're going to start graphing inequalities with two variables, and this is going to look very similar to when we graphed equations in y equals mx plus b form. So we're going to be using that again to see what we can come up with. So before we even start, let's do some brainstorming about what do we have to know in order to graph. So I already mentioned the equation y equals mx plus b. Okay, this is going to be really important. And we have to remember what is m and what is b. Okay, remember b is where we start on the y-axis. That's our very first dot. And m is our slope. That's how we move. But we have to remember that if we go up, it's positive. If we go down, it's negative. If we go right, it's positive. If we go left, it's negative. And this is how we make our other dots. Okay, so this is something from chapter 4 that we should be good at, that we're going to bring back in here. And then what's going to be different is the line that we use based on the symbol. So you can see up here, it said, look at the symbol to determine what type of line you would use. If it's a less than or equal to, you would use a dotted line. And if it's got the or equal to sign, you're going to use a solid line. And we're going to show you guys what that looks like. But I'm going to keep these little notes that we have right here so we have them to refer to. Okay, so as we look at our first equation, it's already in y equals mx plus b form. So we're ready to graph. So that means our y-intercept is 3. So we're going to go on the y-axis and make our first dot at 3. And now our slope is 1/2, but it's positive on the top and positive on the bottom. So that means we're going to go up 1 and to the right 2. So from our initial dot, we're going to go up 1, right 2, make a dot. We're going to go up 1 and right 2 again, because we said we always need at least 2 dots to make sure that our line goes straight. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to use a ruler. Well, I am home and don't have my ruler with me, so I'm just going to grab something that's straight for me to do. Now, before I get all excited and draw this line, I have to pay attention to this. This is a dotted line. So that means when I do this, I cannot get excited and draw one big heavy dark line. I have to do a dotted line. And just like when we graphed equations before, we have to go through the whole graph and we have to put arrows on them. Okay, so that's the first part. We've got our line, we've got the correct one. So the next thing we need to do is shading. Now, because these are because these are less than or equal to symbols, that means that you're going to have to include more than just the exact line. Okay, and that's what the dotting tells you. It tells you that these dots on this line are not included, but we have to figure out which side of the line is. Okay, and this is where we're going to have to figure out how do we shade this. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to read it to ourselves. This says y is greater than. So would you say greater than is going to be above or below the line? Well, greater means the numbers are going to go up. So that means I'm going to look at the y-axis, and it looks like these numbers are going up. So that means I'm going to shade above the line. Now, for those of you that would be using pen, you just want to draw some lines like this. Okay, please do not start scribbling in real dark. But if you're using a pencil and you're one of those people that wants to shade a little bit more, then you can do that. Okay, but please do not scribble in pen, because if you have to erase it, you clearly can't, or if you make a mistake. Okay, so when you're done with one of these, you're going to have your dots just like we did before, and it's either going to be solid or dotted, and 1/2 of it is going to be shaded. And what that's telling me is if I picked a dot up here in this area and I plugged it in, it would be true. Okay, so let's look at another one. Let's look at y is less than or equal to 3x subtract 2. All right, so we're going to use our information from chapter 4 again. So our y-intercept is at -2, so we're going to go there and make our first dot. And now we've got a whole number here. Well, hopefully you remember, in order to change a whole number to a fraction, we put it over 1. And it's all positive again, so that means we're going to go up 3 and to the right 1. So from here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. You're going to grab your straight edge, whatever it is, and you're going to go back and look at your symbol. Well, this time it's got this, right? That little line. So it's going to be a solid line. So this one is going to look very much like they did before. It's going to go through the whole graph, and it's going to have little arrows on it. Okay. So now we're going to go back and read it again. Y is less than whatever this is. So do you think that the numbers would be less than or more when you're looking at your y? Where are the numbers getting smaller on the y? They're getting smaller over here. So that means we're going to shade that side. Okay, and again, you have to make sure that you can see it. Okay. All right, so we're going to skip down to number 3. We're going to do this one together. Okay, because this one's going to show us some new interesting thing. Actually, we're going to do this one. Sorry, we're going to do this one. What's different about this problem that most of you are going to want to skip anyway? Is it still in y equals mx plus b form? And the answer is yes, it's just backwards. So if you had to figure these out, remember, this is your mx and this is your b. Okay, so your b is -1, so that's where we're going to put our dot. Well, there is no m, so what number's in front of x? Who hides? 1. And to make him into a fraction, we put him over 1, so that means it's going to go up 1 and to the right 1. So from here, we're going to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. We're going to look at our line. It's going to be a dotted line. So again, dotted line. All the way through with beautiful little arrows. Okay, now the trick with these is reading them, because this says 1x take away 1 is bigger than y. So that means y is smaller than whatever this is. So we need to find an area on the graph where y is smaller. Okay, and hopefully you're looking at your y and you're saying, well, y is smaller over here. So I'm going to shade down there. Okay. Okay, now we're going to try the next one. Sorry. Okay, again, we're in y equals mx plus b form. So where are we going to start? We're going to start at the b, so the b is -5. We already talked about what number's here. Well, it's a 1, and he's not a fraction, so we put him over 1. So it's up 1, right 1. So we're going to go back down here and go up 1, right 1, make a dot. Up 1, right 1, make a dot. We're going to grab our straight edge, but now I need to figure out, is it a solid or dotted line? Okay, if you need to go back up and look at the top, that's fine. Remember, that's what this is. So because we have that little symbol or equal to, that means it's going to be a solid line. Oh, sorry about that. We're going to put arrows on. And now we're going to read it to ourselves. Y is greater than or equal to this. So where is it that y is going to be greater or bigger? Hopefully you said at the top. Okay. okay? And that's what these will look like. So what I'm gonna do now is you're gonna try a couple of these on your own, okay? So we're gonna look at page 18, and there are 6 of them, okay? In problem 4, we're gonna put a little star on problem 4, because you're really gonna have to think for this one. Okay, so I want you to pause it. I want you to try and go as far as you can with each one of these, and then when you're done, unpause it and watch me go through the work, and we'll see how you did, okay? So good luck, pause it. Okay, so hopefully you tried all these problems, and let's see how we did, okay? So the first thing you want to check and see is, are they in y equals mx plus b? And all of them were, so that means we're ready to start. Our first dot's going to be at 4. Our slope is a whole number, so we need to put it into a fraction, so that means down 3 to the right 1. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, right 1, 1, 2, 3, right 1. We want to look and see what's happening here. It has the line under it, so that's going to be a solid line. And we're going to have to read it. Y is greater than or equal to this. So we have to find, where is it greater on the y? And hopefully you're like up here. So we would fill that in there. Okay, now we're going to look at this one. Again, it's already in the right form. So we're going to go to -5. Now we've got 3 over 5. So up 3 and to the right 5. 1, 2, 3. And over 5 is going to put us here, and that's all the dots we're going to be able to fit on that one. So we're going to circle that. You notice that it has the line under it, so we're going to be doing the solid line, and we're going to read it. Y is less than this. So where is y less than? On the bottom. Okay. So looking at the next one, our first dot is going to be at -5. We've got a -1 here over 1, so that says go down 1 and right 1. This might present a new problem. So when you start doing your dots for this one, what you're going to notice is down 1 over 1, we run out of graph. But if you think back to when we did it before, and we did it, we said if we went down and to the right, the same thing would be the exact opposite. So we could go up and to the left. And we did this when we did graphing equations in chapter 4. So we're going to follow that. So we're going to go back to where we started, and instead of going down and right, we're going to go up and left. And that's going to help you get your other dot on there. We go back and look at the symbol. The inequality symbol tells us this is a dotted line problem. I'm going to put arrows. And again, I have to read it to myself. Y is greater than this. So where is y greater? Above my line. Okay. Problem 4, the star problem. Who remembers about the lines? Okay. This is telling you y is -4. So that means you're going to go to the -4 and you're going to put a line on here. Okay. So you have to remember the difference between zero slope and undefined slope. This was something we were supposed to memorize in chapter 3. So remember, an undefined slope is up and down, and a zero slope is side to side. So there is no x here, so that is a zero slope. So in order for our line to work, it's going to go here, but it's going to be dotted. Okay. And now we're back to doing what we did. Y is greater than -4. So where is it on the Y line bigger than -4? Well, up on top. Okay, 2 more. So for this one, we're going to start at -5. Again, we've got to put them over 1. So up 2, right 1. We're going to look and see. It's a dotted line. Don't forget to put your little arrows on there. And we want to go back and read it. Y is greater than this. So where is it greater? Okay. And the last one, y starts at 2. And this is negative 7 over 4. So that's down 7 and right 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it looks like we're only going to get 2 dots on that one. Here you can see that we have the greater than or equal to symbol. So that means it's going to be a straight line. And we're going to read it. Y is greater than this. So we need to color where it's going to be greater. Okay, I hope you got them right. If you didn't, I hope my explanation helped you. If it didn't, please send me a message. Go back into the assignment to find out what your homework is for tonight. Don't forget to put your first and last name on it when you send me a picture to get you credit.